So I had some time over the weekend to look at this NES again, the one that looked like somebody took a dump on it. And I was able to fix the 72 pin adapter. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I went about doing that. And no, we don't want to talk about you, we want to talk about your grandpappy. So as you can see, these pins are pretty mangled as it is, just from old age. This is probably an original 85 or 86, somewhere around in their unit. Like this pin here is in pretty bad shape. But basically, probably going to need you one of these, basically a safety pin. And you want to take the sharp end of it here, and around the back of there's no set, you got your other set of pins back here in the back. They're hard as hell to get to, and you'll need a flashlight to get up in there to see what's going on. But if you can get one of these safety pins about this size, you get it up in there, and you'll need a flashlight, a bright flashlight, to see those pins. But take one of these and you hook it around the pins, and then as you push the pin in, because of the way this is thicker as it goes up, it will push the pins down on the top row. You got to do that for all of them, all across, and then come back and do these pins on the bottom. And like I say, you can see these pins are pretty gnarled up. You can see how the top layer of the coating is gone on them. And this old NES has seen some better days. But I did manage to get it back working again. Matter of fact, it works so good now that it'll work with the cartridge in the up position or in the down position. You can be in either position and it'll boot a game. So, and I will go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. So real quick, before I put it down here in the dark dungeon of my console collection to hook it up, you can see now when you press this cartridge in, nice and stiff. You gotta have some force to get the cartridge in. And like I say, it'll run up or down. And to get the cartridge out, it's pretty stiff too. I'm trying to do this one-handed, but so that's about like how they were at the factory. I remember the first time I ever even got to play with the NES at a friend's house. They were playing Dragon Warrior or something like that on it. It was darn near impossible for us to get the cartridge out of it at some point. It was pretty wild. But the other reason I decided to go back and relook at this 72 pin and try and fix it is that I was reading a lot of reviews online that especially the eBay ones in particular, the metal that they're made out of, the pins are made out of, is really cheap. And you can drop, $4, $10, $12 on one, put it in there, and within a month's time, the pins are just wasted inside. So it's kind of like how the first revision of the Retron 5 hardware was, where the pins were just getting gnarled out just because they were too tight and the metals weren't very good. Luckily, I perked fixed that in the Retron 5 version 2 hardware. That's the one I have, and I've not had a single problem with it or any of its pins, amazingly. But if you do want to replace your 72 pin, instead of going the route I did with a safety pin and bending all the individual pins back down, or you have one that's in even worse shape than this one, where like literally pins are gone, I would recommend you get one from NES Repair Shop. Now, I'm not affiliated with the guy, I don't even know the guy at all, but I do know from experience of buying parts from him that he sells good quality, reputable parts. So, and if you look on his site, that's his 72 pin adapter, if you want to order one from him. So, and he's got GameCube and Super Nintendo, and I think he even carries Wii parts now. So, anyway, let's get this thing hooked up and demonstrate that it now works correctly. Alright, so here we are hooked up. Cartridge is in the up position, the power button, And focus. And there you go. Alright. Turn it off. Push the cartridge down. Hit the power button. And it works in the up or the down position. So no more games needed to make this unit work. Considering it didn't work at all when I got it. So really now I don't have to buy a 72 pin like I was thinking about doing. I mean, $12 ain't that bad for one, but the metals in the original are still better than the aftermarket units. So it's better to just bend the pins back down, make sure they're good and clean, bend them back into shape. So really all this NES needs is it could use a whole new top shelf because it's cracked up on the quarters, but really it just needs a new flip door because for whatever reason somebody scrubbed the paint off the door. Here's the lid for it. And I went to town on it with a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to try and get it back to a decent half-ass color, but as you can see, somebody scrubbed the writing off. So, correct. Alright, anyway, that'll conclude this video. I just wanted to touch back on this NES. I don't like seeing my, NES is not working. I don't like seeing any NES not working at that. So hopefully this helps y'all out if you have one that doesn't want to work or whatever. To get your 72 pin back working.